Millionen Schritte schreien, man wird nicht mehr. Ist Jonte wie ne Gassen und alle Vieh. Mashiach, wir schreien in der Gassen. Wir haben Neues, als wird gestellt mit Amor. Läuft in alle Sachen in der ganzen Welt und dazu. Arimische Leid, nach Kolmostie. Millionen Schritte schreien, man wird nicht mehr. Ist Jonte wie ne Gassen und alle Vieh. Mashiach, wir schreien in der Gassen. Wir haben Neues, als wird gestellt mit Amor. Läuft in alle Sachen in der ganzen Welt und dazu.
JDL USA, JDL USA, JDL USA. Started back in '68. Was bad said gift was fighting hate. Never again will the battle cry, and we won't let that spirit die. We know the streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League will make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazi terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fish. Jewish Defense League. We are not Jews with trembling knees. We're Jews with strength and expertise. We're stronger and we're smarter than you. So don't make us do what we do. We know these streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League, we make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazis, terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fence. Jewish Defense League. You don't like Jews, we don't like you. You spread your lies, we speak the truth. You think Jews can't be pushed around? Well, wait till JDL's in town. We know these streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League, we'll make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazis, terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fish. Jewish Defense League. Streets, we know our name. Jewish Defense League, we make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazis, terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fish. Jewish Defense League. USA, JDL 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 USA. Now the streets, you know our name. Jewish Defense League, will make haters regret they came. Jewish Defense League, look out, Nazis, terrorists. Jewish Defense League, run for cover when you see the fish. Jewish Defense League. Shavuot.
Welcome to the Shofar! Live. Here it's Saturday night, Motzei Shabbat. This is the live version of the Shofar podcast, the official podcast of JDL USA. We may or may not have some people dropping in to join me this evening. We will see what occurs. But in the meantime, the in-between time, I have a little bit of a talk about the shift with JDL USA. So, as you know, there's been a lot of recent goings on in the JDL sphere. People, you know, what they used to call name jacking, taking the name of something, pretending like they represent that, and doing some nefarious things. We're not going to focus too much on that, but we just want to discuss this evening how the organization which I'm a part of, in which I am the national organizer, as it were, is going in a very different direction than some of these other people. So that is the primary focus of this discussion this evening. And I hope that, does it sound good? Let's turn that up a little bit. I hope that everybody can appreciate and fully understand what's going on. Okay? Because there is something different, but it's something that we've always been doing as well. So it's kind of new but old, I guess. So JDL USA, essentially we're shifting to focus on our prowess as a cultural movement rather than so much protest related or anything like that. Now, of course, we never were primarily protest focused. JDL has not really been protest focused since the late 70s, early 80s. The shift in the 80s was towards direct action and, of course, more and more training because there was a real growing threat of neo-Nazis being organized, and they had amassed some popularity in the early 80s, early to mid 80s. In the late 80s, there began the cultural shift to try and get rid of them beyond just our sphere of Jews looking out for neo-Nazis. It became part of the street culture to oppose neo-Nazis. Some of that was things that, myself, my husband, and other members of JDL, including JDL leadership, were involved in, such as SHARP, Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice. As many of you may know, the SHARP movement was not political but it was opposed to racism, specifically opposed to the idea of presenting skinhead culture as racist. Um, a lot of times, skinheads may not have gotten deeply politically involved and found everyone who was a fascist or whatever that was in politics, but skinheads did get deeply involved with anybody representing Nazi type beliefs that got involved in the underground music scene, that got involved in oi music, punk music, ska, just the limited amount that racist people would even mess with ska. But believe it or not, there were actually a couple racist ska bands. Um, excuse me. And hardcore, and to some degree, certain elements of the metal scene, like thrash. So out of the sharp scene grew anti-racist action, which primarily developed out of the Baldies, which is a sharp anti-racist skinhead and punk and just weird people crew in Minneapolis. And as you see, the Midwest does influence culture a lot. It was considered way out and weird back then, and underground and all this stuff to be fighting neo Nazis, but more and more it became hip, part of the culture. Everybody wanted to pretend like that's what they were doing. They were also fighting Nazis. To the point where you got to past my generation where we did fight lots of neo-Nazis, like physically fight them. We got to a point where there were very few people who were willing to publicly go around and identify themselves as, white power, white supremacists, whatever. It became very uncool and risky to do such a thing. So that can happen again with this Palestine bullshit. But not if we don't act now. We need to be vigilant. Jews, not just, people who are in the JDL or whatever, but Jews in general, okay? We need to be vigilant about taking back the cultural narrative, all right? These Palestine people, they didn't fucking invent rock and roll, all right? The biggest Palestinian, so-called, big major quotes around that word, the biggest Palestinian contribution to American culture is really one individual with a nominal amount of talent. That individual is Casey Kasem. He did some cartoon voices that were very popular and became, cultural touchstones. But realistically, I mean, he's ethnically, like basically Lebanese, but, he calls himself a Palestinian. So he was basically a Nazi that infiltrated American culture. Look at your kids' TV shows. You have a guy who wants to identify with dispossessing the Jews from our homeland. But his political positions and his identification aside, when it comes to, that, realistically, that's the only guy that can you think of anybody? Somebody can go in the comments if you like and tell me somebody who's a Palestinian American that made a major contribution to our culture, a lasting major guy. We're not okay. DJ Khaled does not count. I'm talking about a lasting contribution. Somebody that did something, that a lot of Americans appreciate and relate to. Maybe gave a lot of Americans jobs, helped our country, created any kind of little economy in any way. Besides for Casey Kasem and DJ Khaled. Okay, so we're hard pressed to think of it. I can't think of it. Okay, and I'm not purposely eliminating anybody. I'm serious. Like there are very few quote unquote Palestinian contributions to American culture. However, Jewish contributions to American culture are overwhelming. Jewish contributions to American culture, everything from hell, even Christmas song, fashion, movies, television, books, medicine, anything you can think of, a Jew has contributed majorly, any field in this country. Okay, you can't say that for the so-called Palestinians, okay? Now, here's the other thing. Keeping all of that in mind, along with the history that I was just talking to you about with regards to popularizing the anti-racist movement, most of this work has already been done. Being anti-racist is already popular. We need people to understand that being anti-Zionist is racist. Okay? We need to understand that fighting these Jew haters and the Palestine movement is part of anti-racist work. They don't understand that. Rabbi Kahana tried a little bit with the Committee Against Racism and Discrimination, but it wasn't as well received as it could have been. Okay, but our organization now in 2026, which is led primarily by people who are to some degree involved in culture. We're either we're talking about musicians, visual artists, people who book at clubs, people who teach culture, things like that. And we want to expand that brain trust and that core this year, okay? Because this shift into JDL as a cultural movement, we're going to try and embed the Jewish idea, Jewish values, Jewish creativity into mainstream media, music, art, film, all of it. Okay? Cultural influence, not just politics, is going to shape public opinion. Okay? Public opinion shapes policy. The aim here is to to first build a movement against and eventually defeat cultural Marxism with Jewish values, Jewish artistic expression, with Jewish power. The Shir Yisrael Chai music compilation, which we just recently put out, now I'll play the ad for that in a moment, is really the beginning of that shift. And we we'll also be expanding this show, the Shofar, and our Substack blog to put a spotlight on people that need your support. Jewish artists, Jewish uh, musicians, Jewish writers, filmmakers, so on and so forth. And then also, Jewish cultural contributions that are historical things in the past. We want to realize that this is a living civilizational level contribution that the Jews make. Okay. There is no West without the Jew. Okay. The more people adopt this friendliness towards Islamism and, unfriendliness towards the Jews, the more they will lose Western culture. So we have to be the bastions of this movement to save the West, because it is truly Judeo-Christian culture that we live in. And I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can pull up the advert, pardon me, for the compilation. The compilation here is amazing. It's really some of what I've seen. I mean, I've seen a lot of compilations for various causes, various cultures or whatever, over the years. But in this case, this is probably one of the most eclectic compilations I've ever seen. Here we go. Let's see if this will load up for us. Hold on. I'll try it again. Well, in any case, if it doesn't load on here, just know that the
Volume 1 is here,
here it is.
a powerful compilation created to support Jewish defense, featuring Hadar, Stav G, Bleach Battalion, Adam Rookman, Hashem's Warrior, Almost Noble, Schmitty, The Returning Light, Relic, Joshua W. Scott, Coraline Moth.
Oh, for some reason, having an issue playing that. It kind of stopped. There was a few more artists that it didn't get to mention there, but that compilation is a very important step in the first shift for JDL USA in this regard. But something else that I want to talk about that we're doing in the direction of taking back the culture and the clubs and the stages and everything, all that. So JDL USA, we have been to this end, I guess discreetly, collaborating with some contacts at entertainment venues, nightclubs, bars, and in one case, a combination event complex. We're collaborating with these entertainment venues to protect Jewish interests and to prevent anti-Jewish events from getting booked and occurring there, obviously. But there also may be people that are anti-Jewish, anti-Israel, people that we are not aware of. We may have a band that seems normal, but when they come to play live, the guy's wearing a keffiyeh. We need to have eyes on that, right? We also need to have eyes on people who come into clubs trying to start trouble for these type of reasons, right? So what we have essentially um, set up with these various locations, we have a few, and really it's across the country. So far, we have 3 in LA, 2 in Chicago, 1 and maybe possibly another one soon in New York City that are now protected. Simply, what's happening? They're going to prevent or immediately break up any anti-Jewish incidents with some JDL USA members that are going to be embedded, unmarked, unlabeled, kind of secret shopper style as security at events, club nights. So that is something that we're working on, obviously to avoid painting a target on clubs that we're not yet partnered with or ones that we may not know anyone at. We're not going to publicly release any list of venues that we're working with, but if you know, you know, and you'll notice an obvious pattern. There won't be pro-Palestine agitprop or performances at these locations. And the word will get around that these are, safe places for Jews to congregate. Some of you may be familiar with some of these places as being friendly already. But the pro-Palestine people, they have an entire network of locations that are this for them. So we need to have that, okay? If you can help, of course, consider becoming a member of JDL, the JDL.US. Still got to do the background check and the vetting, et cetera, et cetera. None of that has changed, but we're looking less at people to head chapters for patrols and more people who can help us in this mission of cultural stewardship. So please do get in contact if you can help, or send us suggestions of people who you might think could possibly help, or that we should cover. This is so and so. If you're a Jewish artist, you have to be a proud Jewish artist. We're not putting any Shonda JVP bitches who hate themselves, no self-loathing wimps. We are not putting any of that anywhere. Okay, so don't even bother asking. But if you are a proud Jew, you will be welcome, and we would love to feature your whatever you do. If you are a proud Jew making films, if you're a proud Jew doing visual art like paintings or digital art or cartoons, or I don't know what, you do you, and let us know about you, and we'll let other people know about you. That's how this is going to work. We're going to raise the profile of the Jew, because look, we can't just talk to an echo chamber. People who are really already into Rabbi Kahana and into the JDL, how is that word going to get out? What, just word of mouth? I met this guy, he was cool, and now he's going to tell me about his politics? No. This has to be a cultural movement. We need to network with all of the thriving Jewish artistic creative culture that's out there. And what better iteration of JDL than this to do that? Like I said, we've got the right type of people. We've got people that know about culture. We know about skinheads, we know about punk, we know about hip hop, we know about all these different things, you know. Well, I'm not the one who knows the most about hip hop, but we have people that know about it. So we will be focusing on this. We will be putting out more releases, you know, of Jewish artists, um, and we will be expanding. This may go a lot of different directions, you know. I will drop a little hint that there is potentially some filmmaking in the works uh, going on. So that's a sneak peek for you all. So yeah, start having too much fun with the sound effects on here, you know.
Awesome!
But we will be shifting away, like I said, from the straight political approach because it's stale and there are not enough Jews focusing on organizing Jewish creative efforts. There are some, of course, and I respect those. But generally speaking, most Jewish artists and creatives are just doing their own thing and trying to get by in this world and not be boycotted or have their shows blown up by psychotic pro-Palestine assholes. So we're going to try and help with that. All right? JDL is here to help. We're going to, if you want us to help with your event, get in contact. All right? Tell us the details. You know, obviously, LA, Chicago, New York, these are going to be the cities where it's going to be more likely that we can help you. But we also might be able to help you in Colorado. We also might be able to help you in Atlanta, Georgia. We might be able to help you in Florida. You just need to get in touch. All right. Let us know what's the deal, what's your event, what's going on, how do you want to work with us. All right. And like I said, that's to all types of Jewish creatives, proud Jewish creatives. Don't just come up here and say, oh, well, you know, I think my uncle or somebody was Jewish. Let me try and get on here and promote myself. There must be proof of you being openly Jewish in your career, all right? Doesn't mean you got to sing about Jewish stuff, but if nobody knows you're Jewish, you know, you should be more open about it. You should let people know. You should be open in this world. Now, if you want to like use our podcast as some way to come out as Jewish or something, you know, we're gonna have to have a discussion about that before we agree to hosting anyone for that purpose. We really want people who are already out there doing it, already out there showing Jewish pride in one way or another. Okay. Like I said, you don't have to be singing about Jewish stuff. All right. But if you are a Jew and you live as a Jew and you are proud to be a Jew, get in contact with us. We want to hear your music, watch your movie, read your book, look at your cartoon, you know, look at your painting, hear your poetry, whatever it is. We want it. This is Hashem's blessing unto the Jewish people. And this is something that we as a people in America are forgetting. All right. The Jews have been so much out of touch with affecting the street level culture because so many of us became successful and we became mainstream. Well, guess what? Mainstream after a while isn't cool anymore. All right? We are cool. Jews are fucking cool. So let's stop this bullshit of acting like, well, we're the mainstream because a few Jews got rich and they're in Hollywood and they know who, no. All right. There's no loud music in Sharia law. All right. If you go into these Islamist countries, you can't have a band. You can't have a rap group. All right. You can't go and rock and roll. Can't do that in communist countries either unless you're sanctioned by the government and approved, and the government has to look at everything you're doing, all your releases and all this shit. All right. The Jewish spirit is the spirit of rock and roll. All right. It's the spirit of liberation. This is Passover. This is Chol Hamoed. Let's think about that. Let's think about freeing ourselves from the stereotype of the Jew. Let's think about freeing ourselves from this idea that, oh, well, these Jewish mainstream normie institutions are all we have. No, we don't. There are tons of Jewish artists, Jewish bands, Jewish punk, metal, reggae, filmmakers in horror, doing documentaries, doing gangster films, doing action films. We have everything in the West is being helped by the Jews, and we're not even embracing that. We're not even promoting that. We're not talking about how great we are. We tend to be self-effacing. We make jokes about ourselves. We go, oh, the Ashkenazi food, it's so salty, it's so terrible. Look, that's not cool, bro. Sitting and telling other people that your food sucks, that's out of style now, bro. That's out of style. And it's not about copying the current style. It's about influencing and becoming the current style. All right? And we want to be the current style. We don't want to be yesterday's self-effacing, nebbish humor. All right? We don't care about that. We like, when Jews are comedians, we like when they make fun of people who aren't Jews. How about that? Let's switch it up a bit. Let's stop making fun of ourselves, make fun of these other motherfuckers. Look at them. Look how stupid they are. They didn't even start washing their hands until thousands of years into our existence. And they thought we were weird for washing our hands. Look at how many plagues and shit could have been prevented. Idiots. All right? I mean, just, let's have some pride in ourselves. Forget giving all this attention to the enemy. Forget, these psychos who obsess about the so-and-so Palestine activists and blah, blah, blah. You know how you defeat the Palestine activists? Well, it's not throwing a fucking Molotov cocktail at the asses, I'll tell you that. The number one way to defeat them is to make them look gay and fake and lame. If you make these motherfuckers look cringe as fuck, which essentially they are, you just have to make that clear that we're cooler than them, then they'll fall out of vogue. People will stop, and it's already happening, because they've done some lame shit like support the government of Iran. There's another example, being too close with the government. I mean, I know that this was in Pirkei Avot, that we're not supposed to become too close with the government, too known to the authorities. But we've done it. And here we are, and we're in a situation where people associate us with, oh, you love everything that the Israeli government does, and you love everything that Trump does, and you love everything about the government. And in reality, Jews, generally speaking, have some sort of kvetch or bitch about the government. Even Trumper Jews are going to complain about something that Trump did. Because we're Jews. We complain. We are not satisfied with things being unsatisfactory. This is the Jewish way. It's not to complain and not do anything, though. We are supposed to complain and try and fix things, right? So when something is evil, when something is bad, when something's just fucking annoying or just generally not a good Jewish vibe, we can change that. So let's work on that, on the clubs, on the screens, on the stages. We need to take back the culture, all right? And I mean the street cool culture. Too many Jews became accepting of the idea that Jewish media is this normie, boring establishment crap. The stuff that makes fun of us. The stuff that is it's belittling. It's put together by self-loathing, generally liberal, you know, so-called Jews, and we need to tell them to wake up, stop with the nebbish nonsense, and be cool again. You know, I mean, some of the most awesome. I'm not gonna give the game away, but some of the most awesome, you know, because I'm gonna have features on all this stuff coming up. But some of the most awesome contributions to every genre of every type of creative medium in the West, there has been innovation and major contribution from Jews. From Jews. I'm sorry, I know that DJ Khaled said that we the best music, but we who? Not the Palestinians, so-called, quote unquote. The Jews are the best music. The Jews are the best art. The Jews are the best films. The Jews are the best everything, pretty much. And we intend to show that to the world. And that's what JDL USA is going to be primarily focusing on. We're still going to have the Devar Torahs from the rabbi. We're still going to let you know if there's something to vote against, come to City Hall, yada, yada, yada. None of that will change. But this cultural movement is the thing. It's the move. And if you don't do the move, then you're out of step. What can I say? And that's where we're at today. So please support Jewish artists, support JDL USA by getting a subscription on the blog or blogs. If you feel it froggy and you want to do multiple blog subscriptions, do it. What the hell? Why not? But do keep in mind, you're not contributing to a group of crazies. So if you're expecting that you make your $18 donation, by the way, the donations have been dropped to a steady high, $18. So if you're making your $18 donations, it's not we're not going to blow up anything. We're not going to do any retarded terrorist stuff ever. So don't donate money or subscribe thinking that that's what you're supporting. What I'm talking about tonight, that's what you're supporting. The cultural revolution of the Jewish idea. We're not going to allow these fucking Islamists and communists to go unopposed in the culture. It's not just at the street corner, all right? Because if everybody's at the concert and then they go, oh, we're going to a protest this thing, and they bring all their friends from the concert to the protest, then all of a sudden you at the counter at the protest became nothing but an avatar. Okay? And now you're an avatar for what everybody at the concert went to oppose this weekend. You understand? They need to be at your concert. They need to be at our concert. They need to be at Jewish artists and not this garbage, all right? They want to fucking try and cancel Zionists. We're going to start our own fucking network from which they are all canceled. Fuck them. We're going to have the best shows. Everybody's going to want to come to everything that we're doing, not their lame garbage. And when they realize that there is no music under communism and Islamism, there's no freedom to make your own beats or do your own songs or have your own parties or any of that, they'll realize that the Jew represents freedom. The Jew represents everything that you love in culture. It's true. It's true. So, that's all I have to say tonight, folks. And please continue to support JDL USA. And if you can help with this cultural movement, then please help. Good night.
Raise your guns to the sky, we ain't never gonna lose, cause Hashem is always right. We are the lions of Judah, the ones from the other side. We're a light unto the nations and no one can tell us shine. We don't talk to police, we only put our trust in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We're the Jews from the street, trying to make us see our dead, spread the real truth. We don't tolerate evil within our midst. We don't call authorities, no, we're gonna throw some pistol. We might even choose some guns or some RPGs. Call them Uncle Ryan with the IEDs. You down with GOD? Yeah, you know me. We'll fight to the finish for the Yehudi. We don't talk to police. We only put our trust in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We are Jews from the streets, trying to bring the Shiite and spread the real truth. We don't talk to police. We don't put our trust in man, cause we know it's all decided by Hashem's hand. We don't deal with Palestine. We don't deal with white supreme, cause we know it's all the same. We respect the Holy Land. We don't talk to police. We only put our trust in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We're the Jews from the street, trying to bring the Shiite and spread the real truth. The street Jews with guns didn't have college funds. We only had the Torah and protected from above. We had the light and the love. We fought without boxing gloves. We never met an anti-Semite that didn't run. When they came across the truth, they would learn to fear the Jew. They would watch that next forever because this is what we do. We don't talk to police. We only put our trust in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. We're the Jews from the street, trying to bring the Shiite and white people. Israel high, raise your guns to the sky, cause we're never gonna lose, cause Hashem is always right. We are the lions of Judah, the ones from the other side. We are a light unto the nations, no one can go outside.
Maccabi. Shofar.